Hey folks, quiet guy keeps to himself, maybe a little bit too much. Haven't made a video in a while. I had to do some rethinking. Shouldn't have probably took a half a year, but it did. Uh, about the solo part of this channel, which is most of the part. Uh, I've heard other solo players that are much better at this than I am, as far as the YouTube channels. Uh, it's hard. It's hard to do a playthrough with the camera, with everything else, and I was trying to use Fantasy Grounds, and it's not, it speeds it up a little, but then you got to learn how to do stuff in Fantasy Ground, which is probably not that difficult for most, but I'm a little challenged when it comes to computers a little bit. And I'm not saying that I think I'm not saying I'm ruling that out altogether, but for now, I don't really know if I'm ruling it in. And it's, part of the thing is, well, I want to play OSR type games. I really don't want rules light. I kind of want to play it like, I'm playing a campaign, maybe like have a party of 3 or 4, maybe try to get it going fast. It just doesn't seem to work too well. So then I thought, well, the only thing I haven't bought is like a better overhead cam type holder for the phone, which is in the works. I've just been contemplating that. I don't know. I mean, I have it in my cart online to buy. I just haven't done it. I did get some other accessories and so forth, but it still kind of comes down to the problem of, wanting to play OSR style games. So what I kind of came to when I first started this journey, and I'm kind of late to the party when it comes to role-playing games. Thank God my Sunday morning group, I found those guys on Fantasy Grounds, and that's been the longest relationship I've been in. I'm sure they love hearing that. But it's true, and, I'm probably, life seems to happen more to me, and I'll miss occasionally, but I don't know. We all have stuff that comes up. Anyhow, the point is, forever grateful for those guys. So, I don't know, just the opportunity to play in a local group. I just haven't really sought out that because it always seems like something comes up and, it is a commitment and everything else. So I was dabbling with maybe trying to get a weekday online thing. And then after I got thinking about it and researching it, just kind of decided to try the solo thing again. So basically, when the solo thing started, I started way back when with Melee and Wizard by Steve Jackson Games and the Meta games. This, kind of, sort of, I guess it's a choose your own adventure thing using the Melee. I never had Wizard back then. I was poor. And anyhow, I had this, this was the thing that, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago was really hyped. And I was kind of like, well, there must be something to it. And there was a couple turnoffs. One, it's Borg, and yeah, it's kind of dark. And just in brief, that pretty well did it in. I went to one of the Gen Cons and just sold it to a guy because I just was like, I'm not going to play this. It's just too dark. But here's the thing. This little rule here, well, I kind of overlooked this in the combat. But, it says melee test strength, DR12, range test presence, DR12, and then defense, you roll that. And it's a test on agility, DR12. So if I had a +1, rolled an 11, I would, I believe it's a roll above system. But basically, I could wipe out a lot of that rolling for the enemy thing because it's just happening. But because this was such, I'm pretty certain by now people know the aesthetic. It's pretty dark, whatever. Doom, Swedish metal stuff. And I didn't like it. So I put that aside, but then I didn't kind of know. I try to support, I'm Polish American for whatever that counts for. But so anytime anybody from that part of the world makes something, I buy it. And this is Beyond Kornigron. And I used to play Kornigron, the solo game, and so you can get it on itch, IO, and I believe I'm pretty certain he has to be on drive-through. But right here, he says inspiration, and Darkfort is mentioned. Well, I didn't know that was a predecessor to Morkborg. And anyhow, one of the other things I do, not as well as this artist, but these are all what would be called wood block prints, and there. I was kind of into that over summer. Now, I got to clean that up, and I haven't because I've been busy. But yeah, it's different pieces. Like the dark is one block, and then this blue is really what I need to redo. And then the white, of course. But anyhow, I am not that great of an artist, but I was mainly doing that for the last 6 months, or trying to be inspired to do it. Just basically to, make things like that more so. So anyhow, this is, I believe, pretty solo-ish. Has a big bestiary about all the Slavic, Polish type monsters and stuff. So, not that I played it, but, I did sell that. I rebought it because I bought this. And this is another Borg. This is Slav Borg by another Polish person. This one is by Kuba Szerzynski, The Adventurer's Guide to Beyond Kornigrom. Slav Borg is, of course, built on the Morkborg license, and it's by Pawel Klimczak. Messaged him, seems like a nice guy. I told him, oh yeah, I'm going to try to solo this. And I believe there is solo rules in this. If not, I think there's, let's see, yeah, roguelike mode. I'm pretty certain he had solo stuff in here. Maybe not. But I think somebody has made some how to play Slav Borg. It could be done. And then, of course, based on Morkborg, kind of like a post-Soviet, I don't know, tripped out Polish driving game / kind of being a hoodlum. I don't know. And then I got Kortborg, which is probably closest to my heart. And now I know there is solo rules for this. Yet again, another Polish person. Let's see. Yeah, overtime solo rules for Kortborg. So I'd like to kind of solo that. Maybe this one before the others because there are solo rules. Who is the maker here? The print, first printing. Who is the gentleman? Paulo Kickman. Not to be confused with Paulo Klimczak, which I did confuse. Graphic design by Kasia Konichowski. Chunowitz. So you got those. And then Frontier Scum. I've had this for a while, and I believe this is pretty close to Morkborg. Yeah, system inspired by Morkborg, so it might be a little bit different. But yeah, it's like once again, Frontier Scum, kind of Gonzo, a game about outlaws and the acts of wanton survival in the Lost Frontier by Carl Druid. Acid Western role-playing, and yeah. And the one that really kind of got me back was, because I had those and I did nothing, but then I got this Ronin in, once again, Morkborg inspired. Who is the author? I believe it's Sasha Lightfoot. And then graphic design, Dominic Riozzi. And yeah, basically Morkborg universe with an Asian flavor. So there's that. What else do I want to do? Well, before I get to Knave, I do have Maze Rats. And I thought, yeah, that's supposedly pretty soloable. The other super rules light one, I have Cairn 2E, which, yeah, come on. You can buy these pretty cheaply, so there's that. Have the games, had a lot of these, a lot of solo games like Swarm. This one I really like the idea of Rangers of the Midden Vale, and it's sort of like what I started with, so this is another possibility of playing. I also bought, I'm just buying everything. Magic Modules 2, Monsters in the Hills, Solitary Play with the BX rules, and I got this off of Lulu. eventually. Tim Lowell, the creator. So, yeah, I guess I need to probably solo play. Of course, you got solo sheets, old school essentials. This one was made for. So anyway, if anybody has any ideas what I should solo, it's probably going to happen as whatever strikes my fancy. I shall start doing, and then I'll make a video about it on how it goes. But yeah, see, like I got the Corp Borg. Hell, I don't even know what this is. If this is the player's sheet. Yeah, it's something to do with Corp Borg. Just one sword, made up a character there. Actually, did a little bit of looks like I did some self fantasy. Yeah, did a little bit of exploring, but yeah. So instead of joining another group, I think I'll just do solo play because I have a ton of it. I'm gonna pause it there. Maybe put up another video because of something cool I did with my games that I probably won't solo play. So there'll be more on that in a bit.